Maxwell House Coffee presents Good News of 1939. Once again, the makers of Maxwell House Coffee welcome you to an hour of entertainment from the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer studios in Hollywood. Our host for this evening is a young man who in the past 2 years has sprung from obscurity to a position where his face and voice are familiar to millions of men and women all over the world. Everybody's favorite picture star, Robert Taylor. Thank you, Ted. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As most of you know, Los Angeles is playing host to the American Legion Convention this week, and we're glad to welcome some of their representatives to our program this evening. In the next 59 minutes or so, you'll hear from Fanny, Brice, and Hanley Stafford, Maxie Rosenbloom, that famous boxer, actor, and Boniface, Frank Morgan.
Oh, Bob, excuse me.
Yeah, what's the matter, Ted?
Well, Morgan hasn't showed up yet.
No, don't worry. Frank will turn up all right. Frank Morgan, Meredith Wilson and his orchestra, and that popular radio and picture singer, Phil Regan. And one more special guest whom we're always glad to see, Miss Florence Rice.
Say, Bob.
Yes, Meredith.
Well, Frank Morgan is late. He hasn't arrived.
All right, so Morgan isn't here. What of it, Meredith? A fine trooper like Frank's bound to turn up when he's due to go on.
Well, I hope you're right, Bob, but it's most unusual. Say, what's that racket?
Well, it must be some legionnaires going by outside. Oh, they're coming in here.
Yeah, but that's no Legion band. It's Frank Morgan.
Ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, here comes Senator Frank Morgan in a red, white, and blue silk hat with a 6-piece brass band marching up the aisle of the studio. He's got stooges in the parade with signs and banners. Morgan for Senator. Frank Morgan, the people's choice. Now it's a time for all good men to come to the aid of Morgan. Girls, too.
Bob! Hold it, boys. Well, how do you like my parade, Bob?
Frank, you can't do this.
Well, don't be silly. This is a free country, and when I see a crowd as big as this, I got to go after some votes. Now, just go on, play, boys, while I throw around a few handbills.
Morgan for Central. Morgan for Central. Frankie. He's a diamond in the rough, very rough. Everything is on the top, with Morgan for Central. Frank is a Yank through and through. Morgan for Central, he will bring inflation. Morgan for Central, he will break the nation. He's a braggart and a cheat, frank and cheap. You will live on easy street, with Morgan for Central. Morgan for Central, Frank, he robbed a bank. They say he robbed a bank once, but who are we to judge it? If he has robbed a bank, then he'll be dandy with the budget. He's a jolly good jailbird. He's a jolly good jailbird. He served a stretch at Leavenworth, a crime we will not mention. But he's a man, if anyone can, to get us all a pension. Morgan has got to win. He's got a plot to win. You might as well get in. Morgan has got to win. Morgan was Central. He's the man we're after. Morgan was Central. He's the lovely grafter. Positively, he's got class, lots of class. He's a snake in the grass, snake in grass. Morgan for Central. Morgan for Central. You will get a thanky if you will vote for Frankie Morgan.
Whereas the members of this party have seen fit to nominate him. Whereas his friends avoid him like the plague, and even dogs all hate him. We know that he's a bounder, he's a fake, and he's a cad. But compared to certain others, he shouldn't be so bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to have you meet this man who is no bargain. We are loath to introduce Mr. Franklin Q. Morgan.
My friend, I accept the nomination. Ladies and gentlemen, I am known as the man who calls a spade a spade.
What do you call 4 spades?
A pretty fair bid. And anything, when I'm elected...
Vote for Frankie Morgan when you vote, vote for Frankie Morgan when you vote.
When you vote, if you search the universe, you couldn't find much worse.
So vote for Frankie Morgan when you vote.
Well, thanks, boys. Any more questions, folks?
Senator, if you're elected, what do you intend to do about the youth movement?
The youth movement. Well, I'm interested in young people, and I say to the parents of this great nation, now is the time to take your 18-year-old daughters aside and have a heart-to-heart talk with them. And believe me, you'll learn plenty. Play, boys.
We'll have only fancy victuals. We'll have only fancy victuals.
We'll have only fancy victuals if he
If we
will.
win, we'll have caviar and pheasant, and champagne to make it pleasant, and the pigs will have fried chicken in their beds.
That's fine, boys. Play some more.
Now, wait a minute, boys. You too, Frank. If you're going to take up time on this program to your campaign, I think you really ought to tell us where you stand on some of the major issues.
Yeah.
I'm sure your audience agrees with me.
Yeah, let's hear his platform.
Well, you see, Frank, you've got to start making sense.
Well, very well, my boy. I will tell you of my platform. I'll take it flank by flank, and I'll even sign a written guarantee that I'm going to put a chicken in every single pot if you folks will only cast your vote for me.
Vote for Frankie Morgan. If you all want some chicken fricassee.
I am going to pay a pension to every man and child if you folks will only cast your vote for me. Almost all of my supporters are in the county jail, so by Joe, let those poor old dear all go free. I am going to put a pint of beer in all your dinner pails if you folks will only cast your vote for me.
Vote for Frankie. Vote for Frankie. We will all go on the street.
And I see to it myself that all the pretty girls get jobs if you folks will only cast your vote for me.
Cast a vote for Morgan. Sound the note for Morgan.
You don't have to sound those notes. Why? I bribed the man who counts the votes, so you might as well go cast your vote for me.
You will hear us, Frankie.
So help me.
If you cast your vote for Frankie.
That's me.
Morgan, vote for Frankie.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the senator has gone out for a smoke, so we'll continue our good news with Florence, Rice, Bill Regan.
Say, Bob, I'd like to ask you a favor.
Okay, Meredith, what is it now?
Well, it's about Florence Rice. Something happens to me every time I see her. I get a burning sensation in my throat. My head feels heavy. I feel dizzy all over. Have you ever had that feeling?
Oh, yes, many times, Meredith.
Well, what do you do for it?
I take bicarbonate of soda.
No. Please, Bob, I want to meet her. But I get so nervous and excited around women, and I'm sure, I'd like to make an impression on Miss Rice.
Well, Meredith, there's only three things that most women are interested in, so if you stick to those subjects, you're all right.
Yes?
Women are interested in homes.
Homes, yes.
Yes, they're all interested in the marriage question.
Marriage, yes.
And then, since Miss Rice has such an illustrious father, it might be good to talk about a family.
Family, yes. Home, marriage, family. Home, marriage, family.
Yeah, all right, Meredith. You go over the corner and make up a nice little conversation for yourself. I'll get Florence.
Oh, fine. Home, marriage, family.
Yes, Florence.
Home, marriage.
Florence Rice.
Yes, Bob, am I on?
Well, not yet, really. We'll do your dramatic sketch a little later. But right now, Meredith Wilson, our band leader, is dying to meet you.
Oh, I'll be delighted.
Don't be too sure.
Home, marriage,
Meredith.
family.
Meredith. Miss Rice, this is Mr. Meredith Wilson.
How do you do, Mr. Wilson?
Let's go home, get married, and raise a family.
What?
Now, wait a minute, boy. Ah, you dope, Meredith. Now you fixed everything.
Well, gee, I said what you told me.
I'll get up on that bandstand. I'll have to straighten this out later.